Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Uber Guy here, bringing to you another commentary. This one is a little bit more instructional towards what I'm going to be teaching you today. Today, I had a lot of people actually ask me, how do they set up their private match? You know, how do you customize settings that way? People just typically don't know what the hell that they're doing. So let me just walk you through that right now. You're going to go to private match, of course. You're going to go to game setup. Basically right here, this is what maps you want to pick. Then you got Piazza and Liberation, the new ones. And then basically everybody normally picks Dome because it's the smallest map in the game. And then your options, you can set it in here, and then your mode. I'll get into that a little bit later on. Join test is in progress. You could choose to not allow that. That way nobody could join your progress, and intermission after every round. That's what that means. So let's get right into it. Let's go straight on the mode. You have your standard modes, of course. You have free for all, team deathmatch, search and destroy, sabotage, demo, headquarters, CTF, demo, KC, kill confirm, and team defender. Your alternate modes these are like what they kind of made into modes. They're not really official modes, but our drop zone, of course. Team Juggernaut, haven't tried that out. Gun game, of course, from Black Ops, you guys remember that. Infected, where only one person is affected with attack knife only, and they have to knife you, and everybody else gets guns. And then one in the chamber, of course. Now, I'm going to show you my modes. These are just some of the recipes that I use. So let me go ahead and use my loadout for my 1z1 free-for-all recipe. I just go ahead and click my modes and load it up, and when I go here, you see how all of these says it's locked, and then you ask, well, why is it locked? You know, how come I can't pick my class? That's because I went into game setup, and I basically made every single gun that I want selective. And let me show you guys how to do that right now. So you're going to go into, this is how you create a mode. You're going to go to standard mode first. You're going to choose, like for a 1z1 or a TDM, you're going to go to free for all. And then you're going to go to options. You're going to always set your time to limited or whatever you want to set if you want it. I always set mine 1,000, which is 20 kills. Number of lives unlimited, or you could set that if you want. Health, always half or mini skill. I technically go with half. That way, you know, you could jump off stuff, do trick shots, etc. But if not, mini skills the way to go. Health regeneration, I'd leave that alone. And here's where I get a lot of questions. Here's where you do it. Create a class defaults. So you see how it has team 1 and team 2, and both of them are both blank. This is basically where you're going to go. You're going to go to create a class, and you're going to create a default class. So let's say if you only want people to have a selective few of weapons, you don't want them put the fucking akimbo SMGs, or you don't want them using like a Barrett or you know, the automatic snipers. You could limit them only to using here, I'll just make it real quick for you. Let's make the MSR speed proficiency extended mags. Secondary, we'll make that. I typically only go with handguns because launchers and machine pistols, you do not need them. Let's go with the deagle, tack knife, throwing knife only. That's the only thing that I will personally allow. Everything else is kind of campy. Tactical, I just leave that none, because you really don't want a portable radar, because radar is already on. You don't want tactical insertion, and then you don't want trophy system, none of that bullshit. So I just leave that off. Perk 1, of course, sleight of hand or extreme conditioning, your choice. I typically go with quick draw, and I'm starting to use steady aim pro now only because of the pro perk. Otherwise, I don't like steady aim, because in Modern Warfare 2 it was considered, if you use it, you're a noob. But I typically, any 3 of these technically you could use. Marksman is nice if you want to see the person long. Stalker is nice if you want to move a little bit quicker. But sit rep if you want to hear him, which is kind of defeating the purpose because you have a UAV. Steady aim, I told you that your weapon is ready faster after you sprint. So if you're typically doing quick scoping, this would be the best thing to use. Dead silence, of course, if you don't want nobody to hear you. So I go with steady aim pro. Strike package, I'm not going to set any of these because you really don't want any kill streaks. I disabled them anyway. So I just leave that blank. Death streak. The only one that I'll allow is hollow points. Anything else is gay or just straight up, you know, that's just my personal preference. But Juggernaut disabled, and then I could rename it to, I don't know, quick scope. Quick scope 1. Okay, so then that's the name of it. So then all I'm going to do now is press circle, and that's saved and select in the set 1. So if you want to do the same thing for the opposite team, I'm just going to go ahead and run through it real quick. And people always spamming me with messages right now because I decided to do the commentary. But so you deagle, attack, knife. Oh shit, I'm fucking up, guys. Throwing knife, no. Slight, quick, steady aim, no strike, hollow, and that's it. And these classes are mimicked. Everything else is set. You know, throwing knife, all the perks are the same. And this is typically all what you do. How to set up your class. So you just set up what you want. You know, if you only want one person to use that one loadout, and then of course you go down to your team options. Spectating free. This is so if people could spectate you while you're playing. I just always put that on free. Kill cam enabled, of course, because you want to be able to see the kill cam. Radar. This is an option a lot of people don't like. A lot of pro players, they typically don't like it on because they say you could spawn trap and all that bullshit. But I leave it on so that way I know that you're not camping. Spawn relay, you want to leave that on none. Wave spawn, none. Force respawn, enabled. That way they just don't be in limbo forever. Perks, of course you want perks. Hardcore, disabled. Third person, disabled. Headshots, you don't want headshots because then you could never kill anybody, honestly. Kill streaks, you want those disabled, like I said, because you're not trying to go for kill streaks, you're just going gun on gun. Custom classes enabled, and here's where these come in hand with create a class defaults and custom class restrictions. Now, no matter what, these classes would be on both Team 1 and Team 2. But if they had already pre-made classes, they would be able to use theirs. So here's how you stop that. You click custom class restrictions, guys, and you just X out every fucking thing you want to. So I don't want no submachine guns. I don't want no heavy machine guns. I don't want no snipers except for the MSR, that is. I don't want no shotguns. And I don't want the gay ass riot shield. Secondaries, you could go on ahead and X those both out. You could leave the pistols if you want, because pistols are technically okay, except if you just want that deagle. Launchers, like I said, you don't want none of those. Lethal, you don't want nothing but the throwing knife. Tactical, you don't want nothing of that. Here's kind of picky and choosy. Extreme conditioning or sleight of hand, I'll allow those. Blast shot, hardline, assassin, overkill, you don't need nothing but quick draw, honestly. And these, I wouldn't check none of these because it's, you know, that's a personal preference between players. So, strike package, I would just go ahead and block all of that just in case. I'm just going ahead and just run through all of these. And then a specialist package. Well, you don't want to block these. This one, and this one. Everything else you want to block. Everything else is okay. Alright. And then death streak, like I say, you just want to block everything except for hollow points. That's totally up to you. Proficiencies. Now, proficiencies kind of touch and go. You really can't block, but you could block what you want to because you know what the sniper class. Like sniper class, they have impact, they have kick. Focus, I don't believe that they do. Breath. Yeah, I guess. Range, you don't need that. Don't need melee. Stability, okay. Damage, definitely you don't. You don't need damage, especially because you're sniping. Attachments, I guess, well, no, because you're not going to have anything anyway. So those are what I will personally allow. Attachments, of course, you could go ahead and you could block everything you want. Whatever. You could have that. I guess you could have that. Okay, so that's the only things I would leave open because that you could use ACOG, thermal, heartbeat, mags, tac knife for your secondary, variable zoom for your sniper, and the silencer. Everything else is blocked. So, and that's it. I mean, once you set everything, you're pretty much good to go. So you hit square, and you go down to right here. The only thing bad I don't like about this is you can't rename your presets. So if I go into game setup mode. My modes, it's just as free-for-all setup. You really can't personalize that name, you know what I mean? I was actually trying to look out a way to personalize it, but unfortunately you can't, guys. So I just hit that loadout right there. So all you have to do is do this. let's say you have a friend, right? You go to private match, game setup, mode, my modes, and hit X. And that's pretty much it. You start the game. And when you start the game, you're already accustomed to that loadout, and that loadout only, what you previously set. And this is really nice, because you don't have to take your time to set up any of your classes, any of your guns. You know, you can just select your loadout, start the game, and you're good to go. See, no matter what I choose, see, the loadout's going to be there. And I can't choose none of my other classes because they conflict with a lot of the things that I told you about. So I can only select that class. So I just jump in here. See what I mean? And then if I change my team, I go to Spaz. I can only choose that. I can't choose nothing else. If I try to choose it, it won't let me. I can only choose the class that I set, with speed, steady aim, quick draw, sleight of hand, and with the DE. And that's it, guys. That's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoy this commentary. Rate, comment, subscribe for my next one. I will gladly post up another commentary for you guys in the near sometime future. See you guys next time. Uber Guy out.